This is Sexy, Funny, Raw, where we chat all about the world of sex, from dating and relationships all the way to the adult industry itself. I'm Silvia Saige, and this is my Pornspective, answering all the questions you weren't even brave enough to ask Google. Get ready, because Sexy, Funny, Raw starts now. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Sexy, Funny, Raw. I'm your host, Silvia Saige, and in studio with me, of course, is my co-host, Dr. Eddie, giving us his public health perspective. And in studio, I am very happy to welcome back our guest, Lexi Smith, the adult performer extraordinaire. And on today's episode, so Diplo recently came out and said that he was not gay. And I really like that because, of course, we're always talking on this show about people being on a spectrum of sexuality and how, of course, like myself and my beautiful guest, we are considered to be straight women because we have relationships with men. But however, in our industry, we are having work sex with women. Mm-hmm. So both of us are technically gay, not gay.
Yes.
Right?
We are.
Yeah.
Right.
How do you feel about
my resume?
How do you feel about the title of gay, not gay?
For the record.
Gay for pay, I guess.
Gay for pay.
Sure. I mean, I think the not gay label's a little different than the not gay label.
Than the not gay. Right. Because not gay means I will never, don't even have a curiosity.
Sure. And the not gay implies that there's some fluidity. Yeah. There's like non-committal to any of these labels that we like to put in people. Yes. And so not gay seems like a playful version of it.
Yeah.
And it gives people kind of an out and an in, where I'm like, I'm not claiming I'm anything. And the possibility is there. Yeah. And these things change over time for a lot of people, right? A lot of gay men were bisexual for a very long time. And then, you make those transitions or those decisions. And so since these things change through our life course, the not gay, I think it's a fun playful label that fits in there. For sure. I think it's totally useful.
I agree. Had you ever been with a woman prior to adult, or was that something you only stepped into because of money?
I had a couple of threesomes prior to stepping into the work. I had never done anything strictly girl until stepping into the work, but I had threesomes before.
Were you intimate with the women, or were you only intimate with the man and she just happened to be in the same room?
I was like intimate with the woman for the sake of turning the man on. Got it. Was like, I liked looking at how turned on he was by what I was doing. So I was like, my motive behind it all. I was like, yes, I will do all the things to her to turn you on.
But has it changed for you now that you are doing more scenes with women? Do you feel any arousal towards women, or no? Not at all.
No, I do. Yeah. I do.
I think for me,
I think I feel more of an arousal towards women now than I did a few years back, for sure.
When I got into porn, I had zero interest in being with a woman. In fact, same. I was like, I don't even want to. Like, I don't want to lick a vagina. Like, I'm kind of, I was a little, if I'm being honest, a little grossed out by other women's vaginas. Like, I had a vagina for 30 years at that point. I know what goes wrong with them, So I was like, I don't even know if I can trust this random woman to, me put my tongue in her pussy. That to me was like I don't know if I can. But now 9 years in, I'm like, I really love women. And it's not even like, I want to marry a woman, date a woman. But yes, I think women are so sexy. I love kissing women. I love breast. And in fact, at this point, I like licking vagina because I like pleasing people. I enjoy being a sexual fantasy. I enjoy making people happy. I enjoy making people come. Like, I enjoy all of those things. So it changed drastically for me through the years. But then again, so did my sexual preferences towards men. I would have never in a million years thought I would be with a gay man before I got into the industry. And and I was the very first woman to make a bi porn on men.com, you know? So like I have now like stepped into a realm of even more possibility I thought I could never be comfortable with, you know? And it's just, I don't know, it's a very interesting place to be. So do you, so obviously you're having sex with men and women in the industry. Yeah. Have you done scenes with men who do any crossover work, who work with other men?
Not for mainstream, but I have for OnlyFans.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're, like, technically I consider that personal because my OnlyFans is personal.
No, it's so personal.
But it is still work. You are still, you know, putting this up online.
Purpose. Yeah. No, I definitely, you know, you're talking about how things change after you're in the industry. I definitely feel the same way about all of it. Like I said, like I wasn't necessarily like into women the way I am now prior to the industry, but I think a part of it is, at least for me, I feel like after getting into the sex industry and being, I guess, feeling more comfortable being a sex worker, I became more comfortable with sex in general.
Same.
So it's like, you know, maybe before I viewed sex a certain way in a box. We were talking about a box. I viewed sex in a box. Where now I view sex as like, doesn't need to be in a box.
Yeah.
Sex can be something fun. And as long as it's consensual and everyone's okay with it and everyone's having fun, have fun. Like it should be a good, have fun thing.
I was 30 when I got into the industry, and I don't think I even really knew what good sex was prior to the industry, if I'm being honest, because I was having such vanilla, not even vanilla sex. You know, some of my sex was fun. I'm not saying that it was all awful before I got into the porn industry. I had some good sex, but I didn't know myself sexually because I wasn't taking any risk. I wasn't trying new things. I wasn't dipping my toes in different categories because it wasn't an option to me, you know? Like, I'm from a super small town and you have a guy and a girl have sex, and that's it, really. I mean, really.
Vaginal sex.
Yeah, vaginal
sex. Missionary. Vaginal sex and missionary.
Yeah, and that's really it. And so, like, I didn't even use a sex toy until I was 19, you know? Like, I didn't masturbate until I was 19. I didn't do any of it. So I had so much opened up to me, and I'm so thankful for it all the time, where I'm like, wow, I have like really learned to let go in the bedroom. And I worried about the same thing when I first got in. I was like, people are going to see it. They're going to think awful things about me. Like, oh my God, I did this in this movie, and what are they going to think? But now I'm like, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to do what gets me off, and you're going to enjoy watching that. Yeah. You know?
I think that comes with experience too, right? Like we know our bodies more as we age and all of those things. Masturbation might be one way for all of those years when you're a 19-year-old, but then changes when you start to experience and explore new things.
Yeah.
And then you were like, oh, I like this too.
Yeah.
Right? Whether that's anal or whether it's not, right? Sometimes the first sex that we have isn't the best.
Right.
And it's not always vaginal intercourse that's going to get a woman off specifically. Like, guys are a little bit easier that way.
Yeah.
But for women, like, guys aren't necessarily trained to pay attention to the clitoris. You know, the clitoris is like the magic button, but guys are thinking that you can get a woman off via vaginal insertion. All of those things are really important, and they impact how women view their bodies and how they view sex potentially. And I think all of those things are really important to talk about, because masturbation is perfectly healthy and should be encouraged. In private or not, if you're a consenting adult.
Right.
All of those things. Right.
Everyone's consent.
I think for me, a big part of being in porn was watching other people be comfortable with their sexuality, like being on a set with a threesome or an orgy or whatever, and watching the other woman or the other performers, whoever they were, like really get into an orgasm and like really enjoy it. And I was like, wow, I can do that too, because here I am just like, oh, be pretty, you know, like make sure I don't look silly, because I don't want anybody back home to like have a reason to talk shit on me, you know. I never really got out of my own brain until like a couple years in, like I said, watching other people really get into it and enjoy it. I'm like, wow, I can't just have fun here. I can lube it up.
We like to see sex theoretically in a lot of parts of like the country and culture are for procreation.
Yes.
It's not about female enjoyment in a lot of cases, right? It's about male enjoyment, the male gaze, the male, all of those things, right? And so it takes away a lot of agency for women.
Yeah.
And now we have a little bit of a revolution where women are more comfortable masturbating and talking about it because it's perfectly natural and it shouldn't even matter.
Yeah.
Men don't always talk about it unless they're only talking about it with like their partner or with other friends, which maybe that's not the case.
Yeah.
So it just depends, but those conversations aren't something that we have often.
Yeah, not often enough.
Not
that's
often enough,
for
for sure.
Okay, so when I was talking, you said makes one of us. You were obviously masturbating early on. You were an early masturbator. I caught that.
I caught it too.
I did, but yeah.
Guys, I was a hornball my whole life.
That's great. That's a great thing.
To this day, I am like, actually my OnlyFans is always horny. I am like, when I tell you I'm always horny, like, I could be dating a guy, and if they're like, we're mid-dinner, and they're like, meet me in the bathroom, I'll be like, I'm ready, let's go.
Yeah.
Wait, are we filming this?
Yeah.
Wait, is this content?
Yeah.
I'll go on the camera.
Yeah, who's got the camera? Yeah.
No, but I mean, you can't fake being wet. Like,
yeah.
I'm wet.
No,
you
of course.
Can't fake it. I'm horny.
Yeah.
But I've just always been super horny. It's actually, so my ex-husband and I were like off and on dating for a while, married shortly, but we were like off and on our relationship for 10 years. When our on times, like, we'd have sex 2 to 3 times a day.
I love that for
like,
you. I love that for both of you.
Nobody believes that, but it's like we'd wake up.
No,
and before,
you had 3 kids.
Him,
I believe you. Yeah.
Like, clearly, I couldn't keep my legs shut. No, but like we'd wake up and like before the kids get up, it was like sex the second we wake up. I swear to God, like we'd meet on our lunch breaks. I'd be like, "Hey, take your lunch break."
So
at 1:30.
hot.
He'd be like,
That is
"Okay,
hot.
okay."
I love that.
We'd drive and we'd fuck in his car outside of his work on his lunch break. I would drive from my work to his parking lot and we'd fuck in his car on his lunch break. Then we'd have sex at night after we put the kids to bed. Like we had sex 2 to 3 times a day, every single day.
Sounds glorious.
I know. I'm just curious of why this went wrong. I'm like, how is
all
this?
Be sex all the
I
time,
guess
right?
that's
Relationships.
true.
You know what? And that was the thing. Our sex life was a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Everything else was shit.
Yeah.
That was like the only thing holding us together.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was like, we don't like anything.
I hate you except
You're
for
an
when I'm
introvert,
fucking
I'm
you.
an extrovert. I want to go out, you want to stay home.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it was just like, we were complete opposites. The sex was the only thing holding us together. And because we had so much sex, it did hold us together. But that was it. That was like, we're very happily not together.
Yeah.
But I only bring that up because I've always just been a very sexual person.
Yeah.
Like, always.
I love that, but you're still the last one of your friends, so that's good. Were you masturbating before you had sex?
I was. So, growing up Roman
How did you
Catholic-
find out about masturbation? I don't understand. 'Cause
I didn't find out. I just did it. I was just touching myself.
Really?
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't
kids
know. I
do
was
all the
just
time.
doing
It's
it.
part of like the process, right?
Yeah, I
you
was
find
doing
your
it-
body and you start
Yeah.
playing with things.
Yeah,
I mean, I
like,
rode
was
for-
doing
Totally
things
natural.
really young, and I was just doing it. And then growing up like Roman Catholic, I was going to church and like it's like, oh, it's wrong to have sex, so I can't have sex. And I just
Did you
got
do that-
myself off.
Did they tell you that anal was okay, though? Was that part of your...
No, if I knew, I probably would have done it, but I didn't know.
You're like, a loophole? I'm
They
in.
forgot to tell me about that loophole, so I was just getting myself off.
I feel like that was a big thing for people that were religious where I was. They were like, well, you could do anal and it's not real
I would
sex.
have been like, well then. No, so I lost my virginity probably like a solid like 2 years after my friends. And it was with this guy that he was like, oh, I'm a virgin too. And it was the only virgin in high school.
Wow.
So I was like, wow, we're the only
We're meant to
virgin.
be.
We're getting married. We're meant
Oh,
to
God.
be. Blah, blah, blah. No, we had sex.
No.
Listen, we had sex and it was so awkward. Like, the rhythm was just so awkward.
Well, it's both of your first times.
Yeah, it was
like,
both
no
of
one
it
had
was so
any
bad.
idea.
It was really, really bad. And I remember it just being so awful. And like, I didn't even want to have sex again. I was like, I will masturbate 1,000 times a day before your dick ever comes near me.
Oh, no.
So that was it. It was one and done.
Good thing you got
And,
your taste back for sex. He could have ruined that for you.
No, I know.
Hey.
So I was just like,
In his defense, he was a young
first
kid
time.
with little sexual education
That you're saying.
and was just trying to do the best that he could.
Of course.
Listen,
Of
he
course.
did the best he could.
Yeah.
It just wasn't good.
He's probably stellar now, so let's cut him some
probably
slack.
great. I'm sure he's wonderful.
No one is good when we're young.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah, so
then I just went back to masturbating, and that was
nice.
It. Yeah.
When did you introduce women for the first time? Because you had said that you've had 2 threesomes at least before getting in.
Oh my gosh, it wasn't until I was older.
Okay.
I was older, and I was like talking to this guy, and
guys always ask for that threesome.
Yeah,
straight men.
We talk
they
about,
can't even satisfy one woman. I don't know why they want to.
Yeah.
But.
So it's true, right? I know you. I know you. No, but I was in this box for sure where it was like, it's a guy and a girl. Why do you want another girl? This and that. But then I was dating this guy, and this was prior to sex industry, porn, this and that. This was like in the beginning. So I'm dating this guy. And I knew he had threesomes with his ex. And, like, that was just a known fact. And he just was so good to me and made me feel so secure in, like, my role in his life and just feeling like I was the love of his life. I meant the world to him. That I felt like if I brought another girl to fuck him, it wasn't going to threaten our relationship.
Right.
Sure.
He wasn't going to leave me for her. He only wanted me.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that feeling, I brought another girl in, and it was so fun. And I could be relaxed.
Nice.
I didn't have to worry, like, does he like her more? Is she prettier than me? Does her pussy feel better? Like, I didn't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
I was so laid back. It was so fun. Like, I enjoyed it. He enjoyed it. We both enjoyed it. It was
Hopefully she
awesome.
enjoyed it too.
She did too.
Okay, just checking.
We all enjoyed it. It was so good. And like
Yeah.
a few months later, we did it again with another girl. And it was so fun. And it was like, I feel like it wouldn't have been fun if it weren't for the fact that I felt so secure with him.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been as fun. I would have been like probably a little insecure about a third person coming in.
Do you think he would have been comfortable if you would have brought another guy in?
I don't know.
That's a weird question. I know.
I'd hope so.
Yeah, but probably.
I would hope because, like I said,
It almost never goes that way.
Right,
though.
right.
Almost
he made
never.
me feel so secure, and I would hope I made him feel so secure. Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know.
Well,
Who knows?
Probably not.
because even
Sure.
if it's not him having sex with the other man, I
Right.
feel like there's still
Is he okay with another dude
yes. I feel like there's
pounding
even a
his girl?
stigma, or even just of 2 dicks being in the same room together. A lot of like
Right.
a lot of overtly straight men are like, I don't even want to see another dude's dick,
Right.
let alone like be sharing a hole.
Sure.
You know, so it's like it's a weird like.
Ties to masculinity
Yeah.
and what that
Yes,
even means, and
masculinity, yes.
any little thing can be perceived as gay, and
Yeah.
there's a strict repercussions for men
Yeah.
in those instances, whereas for women it's perhaps a little bit different.
But I think that might be what turns me on the most, because I personally, in my personal life, I would love to be with a man who was very sexually very open sexually, because of the because of the freedom that it gives you, because of like I have had threesomes with 2 bi men where we are all fucking each other, and it was the most mind-blowing sex I've ever been a part of, because everyone was having
Invite me next time.
everybody was having a good time, and it's like everybody was making out with everybody, and everybody was
that's
fucking
so
everybody, and everybody was sucking everybody, and there was like no weird boundaries. Like everybody got out of their heads and was just enjoying
I love
sex.
that. I love that.
And it was one of the hottest things I'd ever been a part of, and I was like, that's what I want in my real life. I want to take all the stigma out of sex and just
Yes.
like get it.
Fun.
Yeah. Like, it's so funny to me when I'm with a guy and he like doesn't want to tell me like that he wants his asshole licked, but he just like weirdly like is like putting
Moves your
yeah,
head.
and I'm like, do you want me to lick your asshole? Like, you can ask the question.
Right.
Like, like just say the things
Sure.
that you want to say.
Well, but it's also tied to masculinity and what it means,
yeah.
which is false,
Yeah.
right?
I just want to say I fucking love if we're doing stuff and you're just like lick my asshole. I'm like, oh yes,
Right.
Daddy.
But it's
'Cause you
tell
just
me
told
what you
to do.
want.
I love communication.
Yes.
I love it. Communicate with me.
Yes.
I love it.
It's the same. It's funny. It's because the same person who didn't want to say lick my asshole, he's going, tell me what you want. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want. And I'm like, yeah, I will, and
Do
I would love to. But
XYZ,
yes, but you have to
tell
do
me.
the same.
Sure.
Yes, like be
It
open.
means different if he's saying things to him potentially.
Yeah.
Right?
And of course it does, because
Sure.
he didn't say it. He literally was just like, he put my hand like right by his asshole. I was like, you want it in there? Like, just say the words. Yeah. Say, use your words. You're a big boy.
If you say it, just do it. Just do it, and then I'll enjoy it. But I don't want to say it.
Sitting down.
Right.
I didn't ask for it, though. I didn't ask for it.
Yeah. I'm like, tell me what you want. Let's do it. Oh man, I got very sidetracked there. What are we talking about?
So I was curious, since we're talking about same-sex content. I was curious, do you find that same-sex content drives the numbers, or does like same-sex experiences
sell better?
Yeah. Ultimately.
Yeah.
I think same-sex experiences might drive people to an extent. However, on my own personal platform, I feel like everybody kind of has a brand, like what they're known for,
definitely.
this and that. For my personal page, my numbers, I know boy-girl sells better than girl-girl, but threesomes sell a hell of a lot better than boy-girl.
Yeah.
Threesomes sell way better.
Yeah.
Way better. Like, it's crazy. Like,
I
times better.
wonder what the mental thing is with men, because I don't know a single man, gay or straight, who does not want more than one person in the bedroom. What is it? You only have one dick. Like, I don't.
Well, there's the flexibility of choice. There's the excitement of this whole experience, but then you can also have this whole experience, which is totally different with somebody else.
Yeah.
Right? When Adam Ramsey was here, he was pretty vocal about his interest in those areas. And I was like, that is so true, because you can enjoy this moment here, and it could be a specific our moment, but you can also turn around and then it becomes a different moment. And so that variability can be very exciting and enticing.
Yeah.
So why it's driving content creation, I'm not sure. Maybe it's in your own content, perhaps it's having two beautiful women there.
Yeah.
A guy could visualize himself as the star, right? Because you have two beautiful women and you're the guest. Being the guest is always fun. And so maybe it's a lot of those things.
Yeah, so for my fans, like, everybody's so different. I definitely, like, I have a lot of guys actually that are like, I prefer solo. I prefer solo so that I can pretend you're literally talking to me and you want me instead of this dildo.
Yeah.
So there are men that want that. Everybody's different. But the men that like the threesomes and have talked to me about it say, I've never had one. So I like the idea that if I were to be with you, I know I could have one.
Got it.
So it's more about the fantasy of this woman would allow me to have this. More so than maybe the scene itself type of thing.
Yeah. Interesting.
But, I mean, I love threesomes. I personally, they're my favorite.
You know, it's interesting because I don't necessarily love a threesome with another woman, but I do love a threesome with two men. Now that I can get down for. Now that, because I don't necessarily, because for me, a threesome with another woman, I'm doing a lot of waiting around of like, when do I get the dick next? You know?
That's my favorite part. That's
waiting around.
Oh my God. Dude, that is my favorite part about a threesome. No, that is like what gets me hot and bothered. When I'm like, okay, let's say he's like going in and I'm like holding her cheeks watching. I'm like, that is me in 30 seconds. Oh my God. I just got so wet.
That is hilarious.
I can't. Oh
Meanwhile, I'm just annoyed. Like, how long are you going to be there?
I'm getting hot and bothered. I'm like, the anticipation.
That's why two
I'm like,
penises
oh
make
my
sense.
God.
Yes.
Oh my God.
For me,
it's the build-up for me. It's the
That's
build-up.
so
It's
funny.
like all of it. Like if I'm kissing you while he's fucking you and I can feel, I'm like, I can feel you're getting fucked. I'm like, oh.
That is
when
so
is it
funny.
my turn? Oh my God. I get so, that's my thing.
Not me.
I love it.
I'm like a crackhead waiting for the pipe to come back around. I'm like, come on, my turn. Come on, my turn.
Listen, I want it in just as much as you want it in, but there's something about the tease of knowing you're going to get it in.
Yeah.
Knowing you're going to get it. It's like,
Not if
I
he
know
comes
it's almost
but not if he comes with her and then it's all over and I'm left out. Yeah.
I'd be really sad. I'd
That's
probably
what I'm
like
saying.
cry in the bathroom like,
Yeah.
You okay there? Yeah, I'm great. Everything's fine. You just forgot to cream pie me.
Have you done a threesome with two guys? You and two guys?
I did my first threesome with two guys the other day.
Nice.
My very first.
Love it.
It was my very first. I was like, I always said I wouldn't do it because I'm like, how does one? Now it wasn't a DP. Like,
okay.
It was not a DP.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
Don't get too excited. It was like mediocre boy girl. But, I was always like, how on God's green earth am I going to focus on sucking dick? Because there's a little technique to it. It's not just like,
Of course.
there's a little technique.
There should
you know?
be.
There should. If you care about the dick, there's some technique, you know? So I'm like, how am I going to do the technique while also like taking it?
It's hard. You don't want to like hurt anybody.
Yeah.
So spit roasting then. Got it.
So I was really scared
technical
to do
term.
the boy girl. And what happened was I was hanging out with some friends. One of the guys started fucking me. Another guy started fucking me too. It was consensual. Everything was fine. But then I was like, wait, take out a phone. We're not doing this. We're not doing this just for fun.
You're like, this is my first time.
This is my freaking first boy girl. We are recording this. So,
that's funny.
Yeah, so it was like we did boy girl for a little bit. And then.
Were these two guys friends?
Yeah,
so they were
together.
comfortable at least being in the same room with another naked man.
So I flew out to see a guy that I'm like, how would I put it? I'm sexually attracted to him, so I flew out to see him before and we like made content for OnlyFans. Nice. And then I flew out again. We were going to hang out for the 4th and like I love having sex with him. I fly out to have sex with him. He knows that. But he's friends with Jason Love.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So we're at Jason Love's house, and first me and his roommate just like started fucking me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay. And then Jason came in, and then we're all fucking, and then I was just like, wait, camera, get a freaking phone up in here.
Nice.
So yeah. So it turned into a boy girl, and then the friend left for whatever reason, and then it was just me and Jason Love. And
so the original threesome is not even how it ended. I love that. You just like sub somebody out.
It was like tag team.
Yeah.
Like, first it was one guy, the other guy came in,
That's
guy
great.
left. Yeah.
That's great.
No, it was great. But it was fun. It was really fun. I'd do it again.
Do you feel pressure to turn sexual experiences into content all of the time? Or do you have sexual experience that you like purposely keep out of content creation?
So no, like that was my first boy girl, so I like really wanted it on camera.
Nice.
Also, it included Jason Love, so I was like, this needs to be
He's
on
really
camera.
hot.
Is he?
Yeah.
He that biggest cock I've ever had.
Yeah,
in my
big,
life.
huge
It's like
black
a
guy.
fucking arm.
Yeah.
I actually, the guy that I was like down to see, he was like, how did that even fit in you? I was like, it didn't. I don't know.
Very small portion of it made it inside.
It didn't really fit.
Well, but some women don't really like those very, very large
Yeah, I
ones,
don't.
right?
I do not.
No,
Yeah. Are you a size queen?
No, Jason,
Oh.
I love you, but I'm not a size queen. I prefer like average. I don't want.
Yeah.
Because I do like. How do I put this?
You want to take it all.
I want to take it all.
Yeah.
And like most guys I've had sex with, like including guys in the industry, they'll be like, you have a tight pussy.
Yeah.
Like I'm not made for like freaking massive cocks. That's not what
same.
I'm made for.
Yeah.
So.
And I say it all the time. I like to ride because I want to be able to sit all the way down and rub my clit on you. So if I can't sit on it, I'm like, what am I doing up here? Like, what are we?
You're like, this is supposed to be
silly.
Well, everybody has the misconception that people in the adult film industry, women specifically, always want those very large ones.
Yeah, of
that's
course.
based on
Because
the
of
guys.
porn.
Well, absolutely,
Because
of course.
of what they see in
and so
porn.
a lot of guys learn from that and expect that that's what the women want.
Right. Oh, that is
right?
not.
It drives the content creation and the
1000%
penis size matters in that
what I
case,
want. No.
where it doesn't in the real world.
Yeah, of
Right.
course.
100%. And guys will say all the time, like they'll be like, "Oh, what's the biggest dick I want to see you with the big?" And I'm like, I know these guys saying this have average size cocks because I've seen them when they send dick pic ratings.
Right.
I'm like, I don't understand that. And all I can think of is they must think we enjoy it more. Where it's like we don't.
Well, guys are
We
more obsessed with
actually
penis
don't.
size than
The women.
are.
They
Absolutely.
are.
By
They
so
totally
far.
The problem is, I think that when something is going to turn negative, I know a lot of people often attack that first, right?
Well, it's an easy attack.
one. And so it does a disservice to men, but it also does a disservice to women.
Yeah.
Right? Because then it paints it as that is the important thing because it's used like a negative weapon.
Right.
So it's problematic in a variety of ways. Yeah. And there's not a lot of nuance in the world that we live in.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
True.
So to add on, though, to what you were saying about do I feel pressured to make content out of my sexual experiences? That one, I didn't feel pressured. I just really wanted to because it was my first boy girl. I was like, let's record this. Yeah. But so I flew down to Miami for this guy that I like shooting content with. And we had sex a handful of times and we didn't record it any of the times. And at the end of my trip, he was like, we didn't record anything. Oh. I was like, I know, but to be honest, like everyone's life is different. For me personally, I don't get to have sex off camera much. Same. I like actually cherish our non-on camera sex because I don't do that a lot.
Yeah, and it's way different.
It's so different.
Yeah,
you're not worried about like the angle,
right?
Yes, where the camera is, where the light is. Yeah,
you don't worry about that. How's my hair? Oh my gosh! Like you just do it.
Yeah,
I love that.
I love it also. And I'm like a big maker-outer in my personal life.
Me
but
too.
On camera, I'm like, don't ruin my makeup.
My makeup.
Yet, because you're going to ruin it at the end, most likely. Yeah. Right.
It's funny, Cherie and I just did those, the threesomes that we just did, and we were both wearing hair pieces in the second one, and I had said to the guy before the scene, I was like, do not touch my hair. This will come out like as soon as you touch it. Yeah. And Cherie's like, oh, I don't care. She's like, I think it's great if it falls out. Well, both of ours ended up falling out by the time it was done, and I'm like, she's totally fine with it because she gives zero fucks. You could put her in a burlap sack and she would be happy with it. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, if I don't look pristine, like I am like having a mental breakdown.
And yet you both always look stunning.
You're like, don't sell it.
Don't sell it. I know. I'm like, oh my God, I had to take a hairpiece out. Now people are going to know. They know it's not my hair. They know. But I'm like, to me, taking it out on camera is like, I kill the fantasy, you know? But it's my fantasy that it killed. It's probably nobody else's that it killed.
No one cares.
Yeah.
That's not what they're looking at. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
I get that a lot because sometimes like I'll edit videos and I'm like, I'm not selling these 3 minutes. Did you see what I look like? And like this guy that like sometimes will help me edit videos, he's like, no one saw that. Literally, no. You're making this up, and I'm like, no, I saw it. I look like that.
Yeah, we're our own worst critics.
Or you could tell me this about you. For me, I loathe watching my own videos because I loathe my voice. Like, do you?
No, I'm fine. Okay. I'm so used to my voice at this point. Yeah.
You have a great voice. No, but I'll be watching it and I'll like hear myself and I'm like, yeah, shove it in. And I'm like, ew. That's what I sound like? I'm like, wait, fast forward.
No one's judging that.
Yeah. No, but I'm judging it because I'm like, wait, your voice is that.
Yeah.
Back in the old days.
That's not sexy. You're trying to say sexy things and your voice is hideous.
It's sexy to somebody. Don't you worry.
And that's the thing. I'm like, maybe someone out there thinks it's sexy.
Remember back in the old days when we had answering machines?
Of course.
Right? And you would record it and you'd hear your own voice. You'd be like, oh.
Yeah. Even on cell phones, the little voicemails on cell phones you used to record.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so bad because I do talk to text now. So if I do happen to leave a voicemail, it is painful for me because I'm putting in commas and periods and I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know what I'm doing. It's hard to just talk. You know, like voice memos are hard.
I was trying to reach you, comma, but
yeah.
Call me when you can if you want.
Yeah, exactly. And meanwhile, it's my doctor's office. You know.
They're like, well, at least she knows grammar.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay. So I think the takeaway that we're going to get from the end of this show is that we are all kind of on a scale because let's be honest, we get to have sex with whoever we want. We get to have sex with men, women, bi, tri, anything in between. But the moment our male counterparts do the exact same thing, they're put into what? A box. Yes. So, again, at the end of this, I'm going to say the same thing we said last week. Get rid of the boxes, people. Let's just get out there and have fun and try new things. My biggest takeaway from pornography is how thankful I am for getting to try new things. I was given the opportunities to explore so many different things. And I'm so thankful for that because my sex life has gotten tremendously better since being in the adult industry and taking away some of those boxes and some of those labels and really like stepping into your own sexuality. So I am gay, not gay.
I would add to that, guys, if you want a tongue in your ass, just ask for it.
Ask for it.
Right. We're not opposed.
Yeah.
We'll totally tongue you.
Yeah.
Wherever. Just tell us. Communication is key.
And that's exactly why you're going to want to go follow Lexi Smith. And Lexi, tell the people where they can find you.
On onlyfans.com/XOXOLexi or New England _chick. On Instagram.
And on that OnlyFans. Yeah. That is the best place. That's the best place to find her, I would say.
I do have some pretty solid videos with some ass licking.
There you go. You can find out all about it.
But you know what? The guys asked. I have no problem doing it if you ask.
We need consent.
Just tell us what you want.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Eddie, for all of your input and the public health perspective that you always come with. We really appreciate you. All right, guys. Until next time, adios.